そしてごめんなさい。
What?
ごめんなさい。
これは言うべきではなかったかもしれません。
Oh, goody.
どうしたの、高島さん。
You're shit at this.
明日の天体観測、0時直前から始めましょう。
0時直前？それって20日直前ってこと？
はい。
なんで？空見つけるのならもっと早い時間がいいし、それ以前にそんな時間に学校に。
問題ありません。入れます。
Good, you're gonna break in.
え？
世界少女が望めば、この世界で不可能なことなどないのです。
あのさ。
分かってます。ユキ様にはおかしなことを言ってるように聞こえるのですよね。
Oh, wow. You can read my fucking mind.
私のことを不思議系か電波系の少女であると。
あ、いや、
No,
そういうわ
definitely.
けじゃ。
大丈夫です。分かってましたから。
Of course you do. You don't understand how aerodynamics work. Okay.
私、最初は自らの罪に苦しんでいました。
自らの罪？
Oh, like, what, your sense knowledge or whatever?
はい。自らが作ってしまった罪について。
Or actual crime.
償い？
でも私、こうやってこの世界であなたと一緒に歩んできて、私がしようとしている償いはあなたを苦しめることになる。
Thanks.
償わなければあなたは幸せになれる。
On title drop.
この素晴らしき日々の中に生きることができる私の償いは、それらを奪うことになってしまう。
So what I can say by the end of this is that you're the reason why everything I know and love is suffering. Got it. I have my excuse ready.
あのさ、よくわからないんだけどさ。
That's all I needed to hear.
明日19日が終わる前、北高の C 棟に来てください。
Are you gonna jump off the building?
あのさ、その場合、鏡と司は。
あなたが望めば連れてくることができると思います。
それってどういう？
That makes no sense at all.
明日になればわかると思います。明日という日をどう迎えるかによって。
明日という日？
はい。この店のように。
この店。
Then it hit me. The other customers were gone. Even the bartender was nowhere to be seen. The only two people here were Takashima and me.
これって。
多分あなたは長い旅を望まれているのだと思います。
長い旅？
はい。それでは明日。
高島さん。
July Infinity. Awesome. There is no extra days now. That's wonderful. That day, it was afternoon by the time I realized all the other people had disappeared from the world. What? The first thing I noticed was that Kagami and Tsukasa were gone. The house had been so noisy before was now enveloped in silence. Not a single voice could be heard. Oh, that clock. There's nothing but static on the TV, no matter which channel I flipped to. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence. I thought Kagami and Tsukasa had gone home. I thought the TV antenna was just acting up. I walked around the room with sleepy eyes. I didn't want to start getting anxious until I didn't start getting anxious until I got in the shower. As hot water pricked my skin, my thoughts started to come together, and I began to know some things were off. Since last night, I had hardly seen any other human beings. I took some milk out of the fridge. The stuff in the fridge hadn't gone bad. The power was still on. I looked at the clock, and it was ticking away the seconds. It ticked off each second, one by one, with a crisp sound. I sat on the floor and looked around. The room was really big. I'd been living in this house alone up until now, but this was the first time I felt like I was living alone. I chugged the rest of the milk and went back to my room. I turned on the computer. This is fucking me up right now. This needs to stop. The servers were still up so I could connect to the internet. My email box was empty. Nothing new. I wish I could say that. If I don't have 20 new messages every time I wake up, something's actually happened. My anxiety grew, but then I felt a moment of
書
relief.
き込みとかある。
This is creepy. The news site I visited had been updated, and there were new posts on the anonymous text board. Well, at least 4chan's still up, that's all that really matters. Through the screen, I could feel the presence of people in the world. The words were increasing, the words were expanding. Time kept ticking away, second by second, unchanging. But despite that, or perhaps because of that, the landscape had changed. It was flickering. I felt a strange feeling every time the clock ticked away another second. It felt like the world was
そう
contracting.
いえば、なんで夕べから鏡と司を見ないんだろう。
I don't know, but can this creepy music stop? They were so insistent on staying here, but now, they'd left without a word. In that case, why didn't I just go press the intercom and ask? Their house was right next to mine. The two of them should have been over there. The words on the internet were still increasing. Words being written on every site. There's proof that people still existed. It wasn't an imaginary world. It was the real world, where the news was still being updated minute by minute. Why do I feel so uneasy? The words continued expanding, but I had this feeling that the world was contracting. As the world shrunk, the words expanded. I turned the TV on again. Static. The signal was poor. Was the antenna tuned? Words still flowed through the telephone line. No, not just words. Images and even videos were
な
showing
んだ
up.
この感覚。なんだろう。
The television screen was full of static. It wasn't receiving anything. 36,000 divided by 86,400. Quick maths is fucking some really stupid looking number. 86,100 over 86,400.
参ったな。
I brushed the hair out of my face, so I let out a sardonic laugh and looked around the room. I looked out the window. A large sunflower was blooming. For some reason, it looked gloomy. They say sunflowers face toward the sun when they bloom. They're flowers that symbolize brightness. Regardless, the sunflower looked like a flower that had been put on someone's grave. The sunflower's yellow color started to get on my nerves. The static didn't stop. The words increased. The computer screen was covered in words. Sakura, I blame all of this on you. I took out my cell phone. I had 0 bars of
電波が
reception.
一切入らない。
Yet the fucking internet works? What? All the weird devices were still working, but not a single radio signal was
電
getting
波
through.
障害。
Yeah, jamming. Okay. I tried the landline. If I could use the internet, I should have been able to use the phone. I could hear the phone ringing next door. Are Kagami and Tsukasa not home? The atmosphere was unbearable. I got dressed and ran outside. I stood in front of the Wakatsuki house. Why didn't they answer the phone? Shouldn't someone be upset by all the weird stuff happening?
なんだこれ。
When I tried to ring the doorbell, I realized this house had no nameplate. This was just a white ceramic plate there. I walked to the station. It didn't have a name either. The trains were running like normal. Who's driving them? No one was there. It wasn't a terribly large station, but it wasn't so small that the lack of people seemed normal either. A train came into the station. There was no announcement. I couldn't help but laugh.
いっそ人の痕跡が完全になくなっていればそれほど怖くないんだろうけど。
Existence flickered before me. They were existences, but that I couldn't see or touch.
なんだよこれ、まるで昨日のアトラクションじゃん。
The spirit room. Lifestyles that continued despite the people being cut out of them. The gondola that kept moving forward and forward. I rode the train. This is why 36,000 over 427 over 86,400. 43,200 over 86,400. What are these numbers? Like, I don't understand. Like, that's half. So we've arrived at the halfway point. But the other fractions, they're just so awful looking. I didn't see anyone coming all the way up here. No one was at school, even in Suginomiya. I didn't see anyone.
休日だけあって誰とも会わなかったですか？
Shut the fuck up.
休日だからってここまで誰とも会わないとかないでしょ。
Bitch, the house next door to you, it doesn't have a nameplate on it. They don't exist. What do you mean you didn't see anyone? Don't act like this is
ここ
normal.
はどこなの？
God, what the hell's wrong with you?
その質問に意味はありますか？
No, it's a rhetorical question.
意味があるも何も当然な疑問でしょ。
当然の疑問ですか？ではお答えします。ここは北高の屋上。その中でも最も高いシート校舎。空に一番近い場所。
いや、そうじゃなくてこの町全体。
この地区は杉宮区と呼ばれています。
いや、そうじゃなくて誰とも会わないくせに人の功績だけは残るこの世界だよ。
Okay, okay. Wait, one fucking out of left field. Okay, I get it. That's seconds. That's why the fucking thing was ticking down. Okay, that's seconds in a day. So we're at noon. Wow, that's so fucking weird. Why is it going by seconds? And why is it in that time frame? Why does it matter?
世界は世界でしかありません。
Yeah, 86,000.
誰とも会わなかった世界が何かと問われれば、誰とも会わなかった世界としか言いようがありません。
そうじゃなくて。
紅茶を持ってきました。お飲みになられてはいかがでしょうか？
紅茶？
はい。
The roof in the tea set, Takashima and I. The texture of the teacup Takashima handed me. This is no damn time for tea! I smelled an aroma coming from the tea. Earl Grey filled my nostrils.
さあ、最良の葉を選んで入れたものです。気を落ち着けてください。
The bitter taste and pleasant aroma grew within my mouth. I glanced up at the sky. The blue sky stretched as far as the eye could see. The sunlight, the sound of the wind. Every sensation seemed to affirm the reality of this world.
内なる世界。
What? She let those words hang in the air.
内なる世界と外なる世界。
Uh-huh.
そんなものがあるのでしょうか？
In what context do you mean this?
今あなたが感じてるすべては外にある世界のものですか？内なる世界のものですか？
Well, considering I can feel them. You can't actually tell. Because we can get really fucking Matrix in here and it could all just be a fucking brain simulation, right? That it's all inside your fucking head. And that you can't understand the outside of it because you can't go outside of yourself. Which is why you can't actually technically ever truly answer that question. Because it's impossible to exit your body and to have a feeling outside of what you would feel. Which you can be stimulated by your brain, which would make it internal.
この青空はあなたの内なる世界のものですか？
Because technically everything...
外の世界のものですか？
I'm answering your question. Okay. Because technically everything you see and perceive are part of an internal world because it's how your brain processes these things. It's kind of like how the question of like, you know, is everyone's red actually the same color red? No one will ever know. Like we can say like, oh, this is what red looks like, but what if that's not the same shade I see when someone else is looking at it? Same with blue, gray, all these different colors. It's the same kind of thing.
まるで私たちはそれぞれに内の世界を持ち、共通の外なる世界を持つように感じている。
How do we know it's not just my fucking head that we're all in, and everyone's just indulging in my brain?
ならば、その共通の外の世界はどうやって至るのでしょうか？
She's gonna jump off this building, isn't she?
至る。
人はどのようにして世界を正しく知ることができるのか？
What do you define as to know?
人はどのようにして世界について誤った考え方を抱くのか？
That's why you have to define to know.
ある認識が正しいかどうかを確かめる方法があるか？人間にとって不可知の領域はあるか？あるとしたら、どのような形で存在するのか？
There's limits on everything, so obviously there's gonna be limits on human knowledge.
どうしたの突然。
いいえ。あなたの疑問を疑問で返しただけです。
That's because you're a bitch.
ここにある世界はあなたの内なるものですか？外なるものですか？
内の世界と外の世界。
はい。内の世界と外の世界です。私たちは外界から言語化されていないあらゆる情報、視覚、触覚などの感覚を通じて意識に現れるもの。感覚所有、感覚予見、センスデータ、呼び方は何でもいいですが、そのようなものを受け取って内面で世界を構築している。
Yeah, it's like I said that, but in actual English.
そう信じるのであれば、世界とは内なる世界と外なる世界ならば、その2つの世界はどのような線引きをされているのでしょうか？あなたが今口にした紅茶の味は外なる世界のものですか？
It's part of the external world until you perceive it.
あなたが触れるそのティーカップは外なる世界のものですか？内なる世界のものですか？
Once it enters your field of perception, that's when it becomes part of your world. Because I don't have any form of knowledge of, say, an alien. I can say what it might be, but I don't know what it actually is. Thus, it doesn't exist in my world, but it could exist in an external world. Probably exist in an external world. That's where the line is.
あなたが見ている私はあなたの内なる世界の私ですか？
Because the problem she's drawing
それ
right
と
here.
も外なる世界の私ですか？
Arguing with a crazy person, by the way. BTW. The problem she's having is that she's saying you can't exist in two planes of existence at one time. You can have two roles at the exact same time. That's the problem here. just because you occupy two of the same spaces doesn't mean they're mutually exclusive. There's a lot of overlap between them, because you can't have something. Well, you can't actually have something inside your mind that doesn't exist in the real world. Though most things are gleaned from something of substance. But I mean, if you just have a whole, say, like the concept of joy, there's no definitive, oh, this item is joy. So you can't really say that they're always overlapping, but there's a giant overlap between these two things.
外の世界から来ると言われる情報以前の何か、その外から来る何かとはどの時点から外なのでしょうか。どの時点から内なのでしょうか。
Again, an object that still exists completely and holistically in the world outside of my own perception is always part of the external world until it is completely destroyed or removed from the existence. Would it become solely internal?
視覚、触覚などの感覚から得たものはその時点で内なる世界のものです。
It's like I've already thought all these things before. Jesus, just sit the fuck down.
私たちは外の世界とやらの存在にいつ至れるのでしょ
You're
うか。
already in it.
だからあなたの問いに私はこう答えます。
Because the problem she has, she speaks in like a bunch of questions when you can just easily answer all of them instead of like asking a bunch of stupid questions.
ここはどこであるか。杉宮区、北高、C棟、屋上。それ以上の答えは語り得ない。
You could give longitude and latitude.
私、今見ている世界以外の世界、外の世界なるものを知り得ることができません。
Because again, her fundamental flaw is that she doesn't believe that you can occupy two spaces at once. That's the problem here. It's kind of like holding two positions in, like, say, a company at once. You can be the managing head, but also, like, associative director. You're technically occupying two worlds at that point, two different spheres at the same time. And they're not mutually exclusive. There's a lot of overlap.
私が今ここであり得る世界の文脈でしか、私の答えは、その答えを知り得るプロセスからでしか語ることができません。
Takashima's expression was almost blank today. It was like her expression vanished along with the people in the city.
高島さん、難しい話知ってるね。
Oh, this isn't knowing anything.
いいえ、すべてはあなたが考えたことです。
I mean, if you actually haven't thought about this, what the hell are you thinking about? I mean, have you not thought of your own existence before? I mean, these are just basic, fundamental levels of thought.
気がついているのでしょう。
世界そのものの少女の正
It's me!
はい、
ねえ、高島さん、
はい、
触ってもいいかな。
はい。それを望まれるならば。
I don't want to, though. I reach out to her. The smell of her hair, the feel of her skin, her breath, her pulse. I could feel all of them.
温かい。
はい。
なぜみんな消えたの？
器なき液体はどこにも満たすことができない。この地は器ではない。そうあなたが囁きました。ただそれだけのことです。
If I had to pick one vessel, it'd be Kagami staying here.
器なき。
And we'd be talking philosophy there.
それが私？
But I mean, this whole concept, it kind of stems part of solipsism, I think is how you pronounce it. It is the idea that only you can, your mind is the only thing that exists. So, I mean, it's very fundamental levels here. Oh, I don't want to say it's like really a basic understanding of stuff, but it's something that people have thought of a lot. So, I'll just say that it's really definitely not that too hard of an issue to wrap your mind around.
そうとも言えますが、 違うとも言えます。そんなことよりも、
何？
終わりと始まりの空、
Yeah, sure, why the fuck not? What's the worst that could happen?
一緒に見ませんか？
終わりと始まりの空。
はい。最後の空です。
The two of us looked up at the sky from the rooftop. We laid down and looked at the great blue sky. Her head came up to my arm, so she ended up using it as a
痛
pillow.
くありません？
問題ないよ。
そうですか。
高島さん、
はい、
私の腕枕は気持ちいい？
はい。気持ちよいですよ。
You'd say that if her arm felt like a brick. Takashima laughed. I definitely felt her. I could feel her touch, her fragrance, and her breath. That's why I asked.
私の匂い、私の鼓動、私の体温。
安心してくださいよ。私は妄想でも幻覚でもありませんよ。あなたがそう信じてくれるならば。
If I believe, then I
信じる
exist.
ならば存在する。まるで神様だ。
そんなことありませんよ。
You don't will yourself to exist at that point.
それはごく当たり前の条件。だって人は何かを信じることができなければ歩くこともできない。
Like, I can't will myself out of well, outside of, like, actual action, like, just through my brain, I can't will myself to not exist
開
on
示
a
の迷
fundamental
路は
level.
歩くことすら許さない。
次の一歩が奈落であるかもしれないと疑えば、そこで歩みは止まる。
つまりは疑うな。
A healthy amount of doubt helps.
そんなこと言ってませんよ。問うことに意味がない答えなどいくらでもあります。それを問うことは無意味だと言ってるだけです。だって
Really? Her eyes suddenly
あ
started
な
to
た
droop.
が信じようが信じまいが、私はこの腕の中で幸せです。とてもとても気持ちよいですよ。好きな人の体温は心地よい。ただそれだけですよ。
Takashima nuzzled my arm, a tranquil expression on her face. She said my arm was comfortable. Was there any meaning in doubting her words?
あ
What the
あ、
hell is that?
このまま永遠にここにいたいな。
永遠に？そりゃ腕が疲れるよ。
別に永遠に腕枕されていたいという意味ではないですよ。あなたと私の世界でとどまっていた。
高島さんと私の世界？
そうです。ここは私であり、あなたであ
What?
る世界。
どういうことか。
さあ、どういうことでしょうか。
The world was dyed red as the sun began to set. Vega revealed her form in the eastern sky, next to Deneb. Finally, Altair completed the shape of the summer triangle. An enormous triangle stretched across the Milky Way. Stars dashed across the sky. The summer triangle approached the apex of the heavens.
夏の大三角。だいぶ空の上に上がったね。
はい、
そろそろ時間的に今日も終わりじゃない？
はい。
世界そのものの少女が空の少女に会う時が近づいているんじゃないの？
はい。さてと。
Takashima took the doll and held it over the fence. I silently waited for the
Yuki-san.
sky. I opened my eyes when I heard her say my name. The doll she had thrown was floating in the air, and then it stood up. What the fuck? I thought the things were a little strange before, but this time I couldn't help but gasp at the sight before me.
うさぎのぬいぐるみさん。
I swear to God, if its name's Mr. Stuffed Rabbit.
はい、
Oh, God!
駅長さんですか？
いいえ、違います。
では、
私は ウサギの駅長です。
What the hell is this?
それではウサギの駅長さんなのですね。
はい、私はウサギの駅長さんなのです。それよりも。
The stuffed rabbit moved toward me. No thank you? He stopped in front of me and peered at me with eyes that looked like... No, the eyes were buttons. This is creepy.